Nini Sasa,
Assalamu
one
alaikum.
of my film scripts.
Barako. This is Musa.
Uh,
Matt Meacham Jr. signing in
our class
on his class in book writing.
with a little short.
What in the last class, what happened was I allowed my assistant to read, and I looked over the video, and I'm sure that those of you who are probably following me and you are interested in book writing, I'm sure that the monotone of the voice was probably quite boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that same program that he went over, and then this way it would probably make you understand what I'm saying, because I can be dramatic. And the thing is, this screenplay that my assistant was reading takes place in Kenya. It's a movie. And the thing is, this is not alienation, which I am trying to make a major film production. This is one of my play scripts, which will be published this month, and it's called Nini Sasa. And let me just do a little bit more reading, and I think I can be more dramatic than the formal reading. Okay, this play is entitled Nini Sasa, and this is a film script. In fact, I decided, I was looking through my books, and there's a short story that I also wrote about that takes place in Kenya. So I'll publish. I think I'm gonna go on and finish that book on short stories and publish it this month too. But I have two particular works that I specifically took place in the country of Kenya. I studied and taught and lectured in Kenya for several years. And in fact, I lived in Kenya. I guess I must have lived in Kenya in about 10 years. But let's talk about this Nini Sasa, which is a film script. Let me do a little reading and talk to you about book writing. Now, the film script, is written differently from the stage script. And the thing is, when you write that film script, you have what we call sets. But when we write the play script, we talk about acts, like Act 1, Act 2, Scene 1, Scene 2. But when we write that film script, conventionally, we're going to say stuff like, instead of saying Act 1, we're going to say something like, set. Like we say, set 1. That's like the first scene. Now, if we're writing a stage script, we may have 4 or 5 acts, and then an act is divided into scenes, and so you take the acts and the scenes. It's like an outline. You Act 1, then you whatever particular subject you want to deal with, you may have to deal with it in different parts. You have Act 1, and under Act 1 you have Scene 1, Scene 2, and Scene 3, and so forth. We're talking about playwriting. But right now, we're talking about film script writing. Film script writing. Okay, let me do the same thing that I had my assistant Nini Sasa. This movie, this film script takes place in Kenya. That's East Africa. Let's see what happens if you want to write a film script. Okay.
A film script.
All right.
And I'll let my assistant read.
No, I'm going to read for you. I think if I read, it would be more dramatic. Now, remember, I'm reading my film script. Now, watch how we write that film script. Let me scroll. Let me scroll up. Let's start from the beginning, and I won't do as much reading as my assistant did, but just to get us started, what I'm going to do is do a little reading from the film script entitled Nini Sasa. And I guess if you if I say Nini Sasa, if you know anything about Swahili, then you probably know what it means. Okay, here we go. Nini Sasa. Let's talk about this screenplay. This screenplay is based on the novel, which endeavors to touch on the subject of love and sex by reducing the idea of sex to its lowest denominator. Several love affairs emerged in the novel that I wrote, but the screenplay is not necessarily about love. Rather, it is about violence and combat riding on the pinnacle of modern terrorism. This saga is about sex and ethnocentrism, betrayal and religion, and personal perspectives which result in typical sentimental expression in the guise of violence and acts of love. The sex act and love are just subtle subjects, but they remain significant elements throughout the drama. This is the film script. I'm going to publish this film script. It's entitled Nini. It has a Swahili name. The title is in Swahili, Nini Sasa. And it takes place in the country of Kenya. Nini Sasa. Now, I'm going to publish this screenplay. But I'm working on an alienation. And this film script that I'm getting ready to publish is just a way that will keep me in the circle that I need to be to write and produce a #1 film script. Now, If you were in the last class, if you were for the last class, you remember my I'm gonna just do a little repeat what my assistant did in the first class. I'm gonna do a little reading from the script, and I won't read as much as my assistant did because I want to talk about a few things. Okay, this screenplay, Nini Sasa, starts with two American chums, one black and the other white, who are involved in a covert operation in Kenya to apprehend the Islamic notorious terrorist Mamaduki, who was holding out in Mombasa. Okay, in writing the film script, it's a little bit more the conventional, to write conventionally. It's a little bit more complex. You know, you can if you write the stage play, as I said before, we got Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and so forth. And then in each act, we have what we call a scene. One act may have 7 scenes. One act may have 3 scenes in the conventional way of play script writing, stage writing. But when we move to film script writing, we call those scenes sets. Okay, let's look at a set. In my play, Nini Sasa. Okay, we got in Nini Sasa, there are 43 sets. Let's look at what. Okay, they are in my film script. And if you buy the film script, you'll see exactly what. If you buy the book, which I'll publish, I guess within the next week or so. If you buy the book, you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, scene 1. So it's from set 1 to set 43. Now watch this. Okay. Let's go all the way up to the top. Okay. Set 1. Okay. It's on the paper script. It says set 1. Exterior, which means outside. Then it says period day. Then it says downtown. Then it says Nairobi. Now what does that say to okay, he is a producer or the director and he has the script and he's committed to produce the film script. It lets him know that this first scene takes place outside. It's the daytime. It's at downtown in the city of Nairobi. And then that just lets us know where this film, okay, you know, the camera is probably on the exterior, talking outside, daytime, downtown in Nairobi, which is probably the first thing that our viewing audience will see. Outside, day, downtown, Nairobi. Then set 2. Set 2, we have the 2 major characters. JC, which is a black American, JC is the white American, and Josh is the black American. And then we are in set 2. And then it says extras. And extras, these are the people who are, these are minor people who you would see in the movie. And set 2 involves JC and Josh. These are 2 American agents downtown Nairobi. And something happens. They see 2 women walking down the street. These women are extras, and they make comments. So the best way to understand what I'm saying about the film script is to purchase my book. That book will be out in a few days. And you'll see what I mean when how you structure that film script. Okay, you're writing the film script. Okay, if you don't plan to do your own if you don't want to plan to do your own production, if you don't plan to be the producer of the movie, then that is the convention. I guess if you plan to write the script and produce it, then I guess you could write it any kind of way you want to. But then I was only giving you a conventional way, the convention. And the thing is, we're talking book writing. Now, the success of the film, I guess, depends on other XYZs. But right now, we're talking about the script. Remember, this is a book writing course. We're talking about putting that film script in a book. And the thing is, let's talk a little bit about the film script okay. First of all, we know that this film script has 2 major characters. Every film script got at least 1 major character, but this one 2 major characters. And these are 2 agents from US who are in Kenya to capture a Muslim terrorist. And it begins, the first scene takes place in Nairobi, Kenya. And you have these 2 agents standing downtown Nairobi, and they're just, there's a conversation. And the thing is, they talk about certain things. Let's see what they talk about. Let's go up a little bit. Let's see what they talk, general talk. Okay, here we are. We got the 2 agents, JC and Josh. Set 1. JC and Josh are standing in front of the Hilton Hotel downtown Nairobi. JC, the white guy, a big butt Kenyan woman passes by him. The white guy says, "Damn, that bitch sure has a big ass. Is that for real?" So that's the first line in the film script. But the film script, one thing about writing for film, there has to be a lot of action. Now, I did my thesis on, my master's thesis was on why will you go to the movie? Why will you enjoy a movie? There are certain tricks or there are certain ingredients that if you're trying to develop a film script, and in Western filmmaking, there are certain elements that you need in your film script to make your film script, I guess, successful. You need action. You need action through a love scene. You need action through a fight scene. You need action with a crowd scene. We'll talk about this off and on, but that's just an introduction to writing film scripts. Remember, this is a book writing course, not necessarily a screen or film writing course. We're talking about writing books. I publish books. I publish plays. I publish movies. I publish poetry. I publish novels. You name it, I publish. So we're talking about book writing. So you can take a film script and you can put it in a book, which is what I am getting ready to do with this particular script, which I have just spoken to you about. So much for that. This is Musa, Matt Meacham Jr., signing out on Earth.